Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm Mohsin. I'm a data science fellow at University of Exeter and the Alan Turing Institute in London. In this video, I will be talking about GRE, that is a graduate record examination. GRE is a standardized exam that is required upon admission for the graduate school in the US universities. Although many universities are removing this requirement for admission in certain programs, but in majority of universities and for majority of programs, this standardized exam is still required. So if you are planning to apply for American universities for your master's and PhD, maybe the chances are higher that you might have to prepare for this exam. Again, as I said, this requirement may vary from university to university and program to program. So in this video, I will be talking about the requirement or the importance of this exam, purpose of this exam, the structure of this exam, and I will talk in detail about all the sections, and then I will share some of the tips that you can use to prepare for this exam if you're planning to apply for your master's and PhD in the US. So let's see. All right. So GRE or Graduate Record Examination. Why this exam is required? What is the purpose of this exam? GRE is a standardized exam that tests your ability and thinking capability you need to solve research problems in graduate school. So this program evaluates like if you have all those capabilities or expertise or thinking skills that you need in a graduate school in the US. So that's the reason the university is actually required score for this exam. Now we will move towards and discuss the structure of the exam. GRE basically consists of three major sections. That is verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and analytical writing. Just to make it clear, verbal reasoning includes all the English sections, quantitative reasoning involves mathematics, and analytical writing are the two essays where students write two different essays. GRE consists of 340 points, that is called the GRE score. And if we further dissect it, so 170 points goes to quantitative section and 170 points go to verbal section. There is a particular criteria to see that how this scoring works. So basically in each test there are two sections or two exams for each section, that is quantitative and verbal, and each test or each section consists of 20 points. So for example, if a student score 0, it means like no questions that a student has attempted gone correct, then in each section or whole exam, then the baseline score of the exam would be 130. But as the right questions, the scoring will increase. The baseline score will increase. For example, if 0 equals 130, they are correct, all 40 questions are correct and their answers are correct, then the total score in that section would be 170. So if we add up these two sections, so it will become 340. If you are in the lower bottom, it's not good score, but if you are lucky enough to get to hit all questions correctly, you are lucky enough actually to get higher score. In this image, you can see some of the average GRE scores required by different programs in the US. For example, social sciences, you can see the quantitative and verbal reasoning score, 150, 153. Similarly, in physical sciences, life sciences, arts and humanities, and business. Usually, I recommend if you are planning to apply in US universities, try to keep your score above 300. 300 score is considered a good score. Some scholarships like Fulbright, although they require a lower score for application, but it is good to have a good GRE score so that you can get admission in some top-notch schools. Then the scoring criteria for analytical writing, it starts from 0 to 6, where 0 is unscorable, mean an applicant has attempted or wrote nothing, and the highest goes to outstanding, like outstanding essay. So once again, the requirement for analytical writing may vary from score to score, but I would recommend that make it between 4 and 5, no matter whichever field you belong to. Now we will further dissect each section in detail. What is the purpose of verbal reasoning? This section evaluates if a student is able to analyze and draw conclusions from discourse, like a discussion. It can reason from incomplete data if some incomplete information is provided, if student is able to draw like reasoning. There are multiple levels of meaning such as literal, figurative, and author's intent. So if the student have the ability to understand those, if students are given with a paragraph, can they summarize the text? Can they distinguish major from minor points in written English? And whether students understand the meaning of words, sentences, and even entire paragraphs. So that is quite simple thing. And last but not least is if they are able to understand relationship among words and among concepts. So these are basically the points that this verbal reasoning section is trying to evaluate among a candidate. In this section, there are 3 types of questions, including reading comprehension, text completion, and sentence equivalence. Then is the quantitative reasoning. In quantitative reasoning, they try to evaluate if students are capable to understand and interpret and analyze any given quantitative information, or if they can able to solve problems using simple mathematical models, not the state of the art or some advanced models, but simple like mathematical models, some simple arithmetics. They are able to use simple concepts of algebra, arithmetics, geometry, and data analysis. And believe me, the math is simply of a high level school, not that advanced. In quantitative, the questions can be of like quantitative comparison, multiple choice, where one has to choose only one answer and maybe like more than one answer, and then simple numeric entry questions. But one of the good thing about GRE exam is that majority of the questions are multiple questions. So there are many tips and tricks that students or applicants can use to deduce and reach to the correct answers. So that's a plus point, keep in mind. Then comes the analytical writing. Now, analytical writing evaluates that if students is able to critical thinking and it is able to write critically. It also evaluates students' ability to articulate and support complex ideas with relevant reasons and examples. And if some sort of like claims are provided to student, whether they are able to analyze those claims based on the given evidences. So that is very important, especially when it comes to science, because in science we take everything analytically and critically and then evaluate based on the given information or previous knowledge. So these were about the sections and how and what is the purpose of the exam and the structure of the exam. So now we will move towards some tips that I will share with you, that how I was able to crack this exam within a certain period of time. So first thing I would recommend is review material. Material means first go understand the purpose, structure of exam, and then review everything related to all those contents that we just discussed in this exam. Students can find many available books like Barron's, Kaplan, Princeton. They are easily available on bookstores or libraries. You can review the material and brush up your concepts. I know that if you are in university, especially in graduate school, so it's a long time that you have gone through the simple mathematics that you have covered in your 10th grade or school. Besides that, you can also consult with Google, YouTube, Khan Academy. So there are multiple resources now that you take help of. Also, if you are struggling to find some books, send me an email that you can find below in the description of this video. I have some collection of like some latest editions of some of the books of GRE. So I can send you that link and you can download those books free of cost. Then I would recommend practice. So practice as much as you can, because there is no alternative to practice. So review the material and then practice as much as you can. Beside practice, I remember that in each GRE book, there are some tips and tricks, and these kind of standardized exams, not only they can be cracked with hard work, that is important, but there are some tips that can make our life easier. So review those tips and tricks and start using them, and you will find that it is easier to handle tricky questions. So these tricks like power of elimination is one of the most important, that if you know or are certain about that one specific answer is wrong, at least you can eliminate, and that improves the probability of your right guess. So these kind of tricks, there are many that you can use and ace the exam. And GRE not only evaluates your quantitative or verbal or analytical skills, it is an exam that also measures your ability, that how you are able to finish certain tasks in a given time. So it is a test of time management as well. So I would recommend when you practice, so it will help you to attempt each and every question within a given period of time. So must learn time management and try to finish your exam within a given period of time. That's all. Let me know if you have any question and I'll be happy to answer that. That was all for today. GRE exam is a standardized exam, so no need to worry about that and no need to get scared from this exam. So I would recommend just prepare well and then practice as much as you can and just attempt it. So that, and try to get a good score so you can get admission or some scholarship offers from good universities. Besides that, if you have any question and if you help getting the books, shoot me an email and I will send the link that from where you can download those latest books free of cost. And besides that, if you have any question, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer those. So let's see you next time and have a good day.